Happy Wednesday, April 5, 2023. Welcome to Daily Stock Market Technical Update. We are doing really well and we are in a lot of profits. I've been telling you guys a couple of weeks ago, since I started this channel, I've been telling you guys how my trades are working out and what you should be doing. So please hit this like button if you like the content, and please share with your friends and family. It's free. Let's all make money. All right, so starting with MES, this is E-mini futures. This is entire US stock market. So now we are getting this pullback. I've been telling you guys this is a sell zone. I've been telling you guys since we were here that we are approaching sell zone. In sell zone, you look to sell. You don't look to buy, you look to sell. Okay. Now, where do we go from here? Now we're getting this pullback. Okay. Now I expect this pullback to find buyers. Okay. Now, anywhere my ideal situation would be, you can see there's still some time to get this cycle low here, which is around April 21st. So we are now around April 5th, and there's another 2 weeks left on this cycle low to come. Okay, so it's possible it can chop around here. It's possible it can go slightly more lower. Okay, my ideal case will be to find buyers around 4,000 area. Okay, so around 4,000, maybe slightly lower than 4,000. Today we touched 4,099, so I think there could be a little bit of more downside because this cycle is still just starting. Okay, you can see how nicely this is predicting the cycle. Your cycle is topped out right at here. Now it's getting a bit lower. Okay, I do expect another pump. Okay, I do expect another pump to make divergence on PPO and RSI. What does that mean? I would like to see something like this. If I zoom out a bit, okay, just to show you what I expect, you can see here PPO and RSI divergence. You can see a down, price action went down and then went up to make a new high with divergence on PPO and RSI. That's what I would like to see before another dump. So this pullback, you should be looking to buy. Okay. Now I don't know how much pullback we will get, but my ideal zone will be around 4,000, which is going to be around 400 SPY. Okay. So also do not wait for exact price. Do not wait for exact dot price. You should start to look buy slowly, and then eventually we're going to pump higher, and then this sell zone, when we make a higher high, somewhere in this sell zone, we'll be looking to take profits. Okay, so that's my overall plan, and then eventually we'll be here in summers, so we'll buy again. Okay, here. All right, so we took profits a couple of days ago when we were entering the sell zone candle here, and we perfectly made tons of money. Okay, now we're just relaxing, just watching the show. A little bit more downside, we'll buy it. Even if you don't buy it, it's fine. Wait for here. This is the ideal zone to buy it. Okay, this is more of a risk zone for another small pump. All right. Okay, so now this is all covered. So go to SPY. Let me bring my moving averages down so you guys can see. We can analyze it a bit better. You can see what's happening right now. There are multiple gaps created on SPY. If I go to also 1 hour chart, you can see what's going on. You can see we made a new high on SPY, and then it was on lower momentum. Okay, you can see PP also had lower momentum. Also, if I go to futures, it's clearly seen here. You can see how futures were making new highs, but PPO was going lower. All right, you can see PPO was making lower lows. Even RSI was making lower lows. So we knew dump is coming. Okay, now what's happening now? You can see we made a new high, but RSI now started turning up. Okay, so a reversal is happening. I would like to see same thing on PPO. So maybe if we make another low, I would like to see a bullish momentum on PPO. But RSI is also already confirming it. We already got a buy signal here on RSI. So it looks like it's quite possible we can have a pump from here. And also you can see if I draw a trend line, you can see what's happening here. We're right on this trend line. Okay, see how perfectly this trend line is working out. Okay, so we're right on this trend line. And I think if I look at SPY chart, we could be we could be seeing same trend line here as well. Let's see if we draw this trend line, still have a little bit more room. Okay, on SPY, which is the cash market, so we could come down tomorrow, make a new low. That low will be on higher momentum on RSI and PPO. Okay, also on 1 hour there are gaps here, 403, 401, and then this final gap 395. All right. So in ideal case, in my ideal scenario, I would like to see this gap around 395 fill, but that will be a very deep pullback. So it's possible we just go as low as 401. Okay. But anyhow, I think at least this first gap should be filled. That's what I'm looking for. All right. Going to VIX. VIX is green. It again not able to cross over 20, so that's like a concerning sign for bears. Okay, so we are still in a bull market, at least for the short term. And yeah, so not much. It was a bit down in the morning, but then they recovered really nicely towards the end of the day, the stock market. Okay, now going to Nasdaq US 1000. Let's go to 1 hour chart. See what's happening here. You can see again divergence on RSI. PPO still does not have divergence. Looks like we're also on a trend line. This is blue line is a 200 SMA line. We are finding support there. You can see again same story here. We are making new highs but lower momentum on PPO and RSI. Okay, so that means a dump is coming. So now this is where we found support. If I go to triple Qs, which is Nasdaq ETF, it came very close to filling this gap. If I go to 1 hour, yeah, you can see we still did not fill this gap. Okay, so it's possible tomorrow we can have a gap down. We've opened right here around 313, and then that will be a good area to buy. Also, there's another massive gap here. Okay, there's a massive gap around 307. So just be mindful of that. It can come as low as 313, or it can even go as low as 307 before a pump higher to this buy zone, to this sell zone, which is in this yellow line. Okay. These are two gaps to fill. We still did not fill to 322 and 328. These are my price targets. Final target is 328 to take all the profits. All right. So that's on triple Qs. Also, you can see this green line is 10 moving average. We found support there because it was really quite a far out, and we found support. Let's go to SPY and see. Also on SPY, we have a kind of a bull trend. What does bull trend means? These moving averages are stacking to the higher side. The only issue right now on SPY, this green line, which is 10 MA line. Let me get rid of this. This 10 MA is quite far away from this price line. So I would like to see a little bit more downside to test this green line and then move higher. Okay, so I would like to see at least minimum a touch of this green line. This is a moving average, 10 moving average, at least to touch that before a pump. All right, so that's what I'm expecting here. Let's move on US 30. US 30 was surprisingly green today. So you can see I do expect a little bit of more pullback before a pump higher. Okay, it had a breakout. So Dow Jones looking all right. A little bit more downside. Maybe retest this 50 SMA, which is this red line, or maybe slightly go a bit lower here. There's a lot of support around 30 to 95. So like have a little bit pullback and then bounce higher. All right. US 2000, again, you can see my cycles on chart. It's working very nicely here. I do expect basically equal lows or a new low. And this time frame around early May is a significant time frame. So also today, it's now back testing this trend line. You can see we broke out. This was a bear trap, and now again we are back testing it. But eventually, I'm expecting more downside. This is a list of 2,000 companies in US, mainly consist of regional banks, which are very small banks, and financials are selling hard, putting a lot of pressure on this to go down. Okay, and this cycle is telling me another low is expected very soon. Crude oil selling. Again, this is my projection. It popped up a couple of days ago over the weekend. OPEC Plus made a decision on basically reducing the oil supply, and now it's pumping, but eventually it's all going to be given back. This is a big gap here. So it's very good to short energy stocks right now. Okay, so eventually this gap will be filled. And also there's a significant risk around this time frame, June-July time frame. It could make a new low at that time. Okay, so be mindful of that. Natural gas is kind of 2.3%. Very close to the bottom coming 10th of April. So again, these are good times to buy. You can draw a trend line on natural gas if you want to really invest in this. You can draw a trend line like this. Looks like it's almost there. It could have done a breakout today. It's quite possible it was a breakout, but still there's a couple of days left. So these are all good prices to buy. You can buy UNG ETF to hold for long term. All right, this is a couple of years play. Just be mindful of that. Bitcoin again pumped in the morning and then now again dumped with the entire stock market is dumping. So again, there's divergence on RSI and PPO, and any dip should be bought. If we get a dip to 24K, that's my ideal target to buy it before a pump. And then finally, there's a significant risk here. So let's go to futures market. You can see what I'm trying to tell you. I would like to see some little bit of dip like very soon. There's this cycle low coming here around May time frame. So ideally, I would like to see a little bit of dip before a pump. And then finally, in this time frame is a significant risk, okay, around July-August time frame. All right, so that's my target on Bitcoin. Ethereum, same thing. You can see it's pumping, but still there's divergence on PPO. You can see this is Ethereum futures. PPO is still lower. All right. RSI also has divergence, so that's an early indication of a dump coming. Okay, so there's another massive gap here. This gap can fill, doesn't have to fill, and also this is a cycle top coming very soon. This gap does not need to fill now; it can even fill here. Okay, so yeah, you gotta be very careful. Trade actually it should be more like let me refix this. It should be more like let me find the right tool. I think we're topping out here, and then eventually we're going to go higher, lower here. All right, that's what I'm expecting on Bitcoin. Dollar, little bit of green. It was oversold today. I mean yesterday. Finding a little bit of buyers now, and then there's significant risk around this time frame. Okay, June-July time frame. Gold was up massively in the morning. Now I don't see any divergence on PPO after this pump. RSI still has divergence. You can see it made a new high with lower momentum on RSI. So I think gold is almost topping out. You can see this cycle high. It's coming close to the cycle high. Eventually, I'm looking for buying gold around 1900 support. Okay, I'm not interested in gold until we are here. All right. Silver, same thing. Again, it's going to follow gold, so not a lot to talk here. TNX, which are mortgage rates dumping. There are a couple of gaps here around 3.14 and 2.93. Those are my targets to buy. Bonds are doing good, looking very, very good. You can see this 200 SMA line. This is blue line. So they're looking very bullish, a little bit more pump, and then again down based on entire stock market. So that's what I'm hoping for. Let's quickly look at all the sectors. Gold miners. Let's start with gold miners. Do we see any divergence? No, there's no divergence. This is a bullish chart. Okay. You can see we are making new highs with no lower divergence on PPO and RSI. Okay, so this is looking good. And again, there are a couple of gaps up and many gaps down. So eventually, when gold looks for 1900, I'm hoping one of these gaps should be filled before we pump higher. All right. Let's look at energy sector. Was up today. Again, it created a massive gap here. There's one gap here, and there's a massive gap in this. So I'm not interested until we are here. This gap will eventually be filled. That will be my buy target for this year. XLU is utilities, massive pump. I've been telling you guys, buy here, buy. This is a support zone. And since then, it's just going higher. So everything is looking very bullish on utility sector. So it's finding resistance on this 200 SMA right now. If it goes above that, that's going to be very bullish, okay? Healthcare, same thing. I've been telling you guys, buy here. And people who bought and who listen must be very happy. It closed this gap today around 132, so we can get rid of that. Again, looking very bullish. Financials still weak, and this is the cycle low here around May time frame, so expecting maybe equal high or lower high before the next cycle up. Okay. Industrials are a bit weak, so it filled this gap today. Okay, and it filled actually two gaps are filled today, so that's very good. And now it could come down to fill this final gap before a pump higher. Real estate sector, looking for these couple of gaps to fill before a pump higher. Okay, let's quickly look at stock Tesla. Tesla had a good development today. Basically, this gap here was closed. There was this gap around, you can see here, around 184. This gap was closed. Now we're finding support here. I still do not see divergence on PPO and RSI. So if we make a new low, if we open on a gap down tomorrow, that should be divergence on the RSI and hopefully on PPO. Now today, this morning, we had a gap down. If I zoom in a bit, you can see we had a gap down. You can see this gap. So now it created two gaps up, 190 and 206. These gaps will be filled. It's just a matter of time. Also, there is this massive gap. I don't think that's going to be filled anywhere before earnings. Earnings are on April 24th, sorry, 19th. And then based on the earnings, I think next move will be made. But I think from now on, there will be some hype about earnings. So I'm expecting at least 206 or maybe even 238 to fill. Okay. So if we get a pump from now on, it's going to be really bullish pump around 27%, at least 238. That's what I'm looking to fill. Okay. We'll see how it goes. And let's look at Apple. Apple, again, you can see it's finding support on this green 10 MA line. So that's very good. It was very far extended. So the pullback is healthy. And there is this also this trend line, okay, this white trend line. So I'm looking for it to find support here. It can go and still did not fill this green line, green gap 161. So tomorrow it can fill this gap. And if it fills this gap, it can come to this trend line before a pump higher for our next leg higher. All right. Amazon. Basically, again, it was quite extended. Now we are again back to this 10 MA. So it's backtesting. Still, this gap is not filled. A little bit more downside around 101 before a pump higher. Google, let's see, Google, again, same thing. All these were overextended. Now it's finding support again on this 10 MA. And we'll see how Google goes, maybe a little bit more downside before a pump higher. Meta, again, same thing. Finding support on this 10 moving average. There are all these gaps to fill. Maybe one little bit more dump around 201 to fill these gaps before pump higher. Netflix, again, finding support on this 10 moving average. You can see it was too far extended above this 10 moving. Price always likes to get back to 10 moving average before going higher. Still, this gap is not filled. So looking for that gap to fill. Microsoft, again, same thing. Maybe this gap will fill before pumping higher. Snowflakes was down significantly. It's not a good news. It's below this 50 SMA now, this red line. So, but again, it found support on this 10 moving average. There's a gap here around 137. It is possible it can come down to fill this gap before a pump higher. So just be mindful of that. Nvidia was down. Basically, it's below. You can see on 1 hour, it created an upside gap in the morning. There's a big gap here in the morning. And also looks like now it filled this gap, bottom gap, so we can get rid of this. So it's quite possible it's finding support on this 20 EMA. It's quite possible today was the bottom and we can grip higher from here. AMD was down heavily. Again, in the morning, it created multiple gaps. You can see in the morning, it created another gap. Just like multiple gaps up, multiple gaps down. And also this trend line is coming, so it might have found support today. So you can see it's looking for support on this trend line. It found it, so today could be the end of this dip. We will figure it out very soon. And that's it, guys. Hope you had a great day. And please, on your way out, like my videos and share with your friends and family. Thank you and have a good rest of the Wednesday. And we'll talk again on Thursday. Happy Wednesday. Bye.